Chapter 195. The new patriarch of the Chu family, arriving to seize the bride. Startling change _2. To gaze under the red cover turned to the maid by his side, and asked, "Where Raymond Khan? Where did he go?" The maid respectfully responded, "He is not yet returned. I heard that he stopped the wedding procession of the four great families at the west gate earlier. He was in danger, but he was rescued by someone." 1. Chu Xianyu sigh, "That guy. He is always so reckless." The arena is all set up. Next is the martial competition for the bride among the four great families. At this moment, a report came from outside the door. Upon hearing this, the maid said, indignantly, "I say, this marriage is a farce. Whoever heard of a wedding being treated like this? The Chu family has lost all of its dignity." Clearly, she felt empathetic towards this situation. A woman had become a tool for a political marriage, having lost all dignity. Moreover, her only husband was to be chosen to martial competition. She could not fathom what the patriarch was thinking. However, Chu Xianyu said nothing. She held a bronze mask in her hand, silent. The widest martial platform of the Chu family was surrounded by a crowd. The direct descendants of the four great families of the ancient immortal swords all came to participate. Chen Ke, Zhang Chenlu, Lin Russian, Bai Tu Hua. All the eldest sons of the four great families were present. Fuyao State is currently in its most splendid period, even adding up Qingyan State, Yuchuan State, Shanlong State. It can't compare to Fuyao State. It can be said that these sons of the four families are the best among the young talents in Fuyao State, representing Fuyao Sword Palace. But now, these four young men are fighting over the same woman. The proud daughters of the Zhang, Chen, and Bai families were all utterly jealous. If the news went out, all the young women in the whole world would be unbearably jealous and envious of Chu Xianyu. Till be the first one to challenge. Chen Ke, who was tall and handsome, stepped forward and initiated the challenge first. Even if the rule is that all disciples of the Eight Veins can participate, doing so breaks the tradition. Zhang Chenglu in a gold-embellished robe looked rather dissatisfied. "Letting them compete is a waste of time. It would be quicker if I start," Chen Ke said with a faint smile. "Good point. Why not let me start then?" A faint voice suddenly came from the sky, clear to everyone. "Who is it?" Chen frowned upon hearing this, looking around for who dared to contradict him. "It's Shush," asked voice fell. Electricity on the ground of the arena surged like purple mist, coalescing into the illusory figure of a divine dragon, which appeared in front of Han Yi, releasing a low dragon chant. The hair and sleeve of Han Ya's clothes began to flutter in the wind. The power fluctuations radiating from the illusion of the divine dragon were not actual attacks, but the momentum condensed from sword intent. It was also a warning. If the adversary continued to overstep, Han Yi would give him a lesson. Such a powerful momentum deterred Chen Ke and the young sword cultivators of the four major families, making them retreat continuously, as if a divine dragon was lying before them, inciting fear in their hearts. This man can actually use sword intent to conjure a thunder dragon shadow, forming a momentum as powerful as the true dragon body. It shows that his level of sword intent has at least reached the level of returning to the uncarved state. So young, how can he achieve the stage of condensing holy intent? Only the true inheritors of Fuyao Sword Palace and the young geniuses from the top 8 pulse would have the ability to cultivate their swordsmanship to such level at this age. The nascent soul elders of the four major families were all astonished. They found it unbelievable, because even among them, the person with the strongest stage of swordsmanship had just reached the realm of sword intent. Han Ye's formidable swordsmanship indeed intimidated many. At this moment, Chu Xianyu sat on the upper floor of the loft. Looking towards the arena in the distance, an exquisite jade hand reached out from her sleeve. Her slender and delicate fingers, like boneless jade, lightly lifted her veil, revealing a familiar figure. As if they shared a bond, Han Yi spotted the woman in red on the loft from hundreds of meters away. Han Yi looked at Chu Xianyu and showed a gentle smile. "It's you again, who let him in." Upon seeing Han Ye's movement, Chen Ke immediately showed an extremely angry look, and with a swoosh, unfurled the white handkerchief in his hand, said in a cold voice, "So be it. Let's fight. If you lose, retreat, and leave Miss Chu to me. Count out to me 3 times on the ground and apologize." Han Yi was neither urgent nor annoying. he replied coldly. And what if you lose? I cannot lose. In Chen Ke's eyes, a look of confidence flashed. He started to prepare his move. He slowly mobilized his magic power, moved it to the meridians in his arm, and swiftly shot out the tiny needles embroidered on the handkerchief through the joints. Da Luo 9 methods. After the fine needles flew out, they immediately transformed into 6 flying swords, and formed 6 mysterious trajectories aimed at the 6 vital points of Han Yi. Every flying sword seemed like a roaming dragon, unleashing 6 paths of sword che, and, as they rubbed against the air, a sound of swish-swish emerged from the air's impact. At a glance, within the narrow space between Han Yi and Chen Ke, 36 sword shadows appeared. With a boom, the 36 sword shadows pierced through the phantom of the Thunder Dragon. Under Chen Ke's control, they converged into one, as if countless arrows were piercing the heart. They targeted Han Ye's abdomen. The phantom formed by merged magic power was a ferocious green snake. Upon seeing this, everyone present was shocked yet again. Chen Ke was actually capable of multitasking, controlling 6 flying swords, while simultaneously launching attacks using 6 different sword techniques. This single move surpassed most of the young sword cultivators present. Indeed, Chen Ke, as expected, was truly capable of being the new generation's choice of the sword at Fuyao Sword Palace, even within the Chen family. Han Yi stood still, and only when the 6 flying swords reached within 3 feet from him did he extend his hand and pressed against the void. The heavenly earthly spiritual che transformed into strands of lightning, forming a purple barrier. The 6 flying swords, upon colliding with the lightning barrier, slowed down and eventually stopped in midair. Plop! Ashen Yi withdrew his hand. All 6 flying swords fell to the ground. If this is your only level of skill, then you're not qualifying. Right as Han Yi finished his statement, Breaking Power God Sword, the oldest son of the Lin family, Lin Russian, followed after the 6 flying swords and leapt off the ground. His right arm swung out as if it was a sword, showcasing a powerful heaven-grade swordsmanship, the demon breaking power sword technique. On his hand, he wore a pair of white scale gloves, his fingers stretched straight, resembling a blade edge. As he sliced with his hand, for luminescent rings radiated from the surface of his white gloves. After each ring of light flickered, the strength in Lin Russian's hand doubled. With 4 rings of light emitted, the power of Lin Russian's chopper hand increased 16 times. It was merely a hand, but the amount of power that erupted was unusually terrifying, creating a giant sword shadow 3 Zhonglong in the air. Han Yi furrowed his brows slightly. The opponent turned out to be a cultivator who cultivated both body and sword arts. Even if the opponent's strength exceeded Han Yi's estimation, he wasn't intimidated in the slightest. Instead, it piqued Han Yi's interest. You want to compete in strength? Han Yi clenched his fist. The mountain shaking 5 elements gang ready. 5 types of luminescent light circulated around his arm, eventually culminating in a rumbling noise reminiscent of a dragon and tiger's roar. Thout! Lin Russian's chopper hand collided with Han Yi's fist. The che waves produced from their showdown swept out, causing an air-blown whirl of sand and dust that made it impossible for anyone to open their eyes. Golden blood and che were constantly boiling within Han Yi. The terrifying physical strength brought by the unrivaled tyrant body was continuously being reinforced and heightened. Down! With a loud roar, Han Yi brought down his fist imbued with the essence of the pure Yang Xuan fist. The rotation of the yin and yang and 8 diagrams instantly suppressed Lin Russian. Zing! An earthfleeing sword attacked him directly at his face. Han Yi's index and middle fingers came together, forming a sword. He channeled the power of the Langlang sword heart to his fingertips. A series of energy ripples radiated out from the circumference of his 2 fingers, forming a series of sharp sword gangs. Quoch! Han Yi swiftly counterattacked the 3rd enemy, Zhang Chenglu. This scene, in the eyes of the crowd, was nothing short of unbelievable. Could this young man in white be solely capable of fighting against the pride of 4 major families? Who exactly is he?